So not hard for a scammer to figure it out, and they will. They're going to find somebody who is a decent, reliable citizen, who has cash reserves, who has something to lose, like my attorney friend.
Yeah, what happened with him?
We are the Armed Attorneys. Today we are coming to you with something a little bit different. We are hearing from, we hear from lots and lots of people, both all over the state and all over the country. And we are hearing from lots and lots of people who are being scammed with a very clever new scam that implicates criminal law. So we're going to talk you through what to look out for and how to ensure that you are not sending your money away in furtherance of this awful criminal scheme. But before we get started, show your support for the Second Amendment by hitting the like button.
All right, this issue is near and dear to my heart. My father-in-law, he's an elected district clerk. His name shows up on jury summonses, and I'm sure he has had folks subject to scams. Not from him. These are outside scammers. But this is...
in that the government
I will say, though,
is kind of a scam.
Well, I get pictures of their summons, and they text it to me like, is this a joke? Or he got you, sorry. But all right, we have a lot of people, folks being threatened with arrest, humongous penalties, humongous fines, because they failed to show up for jury service.
Yes, so I will, and this is going to be an Emily heavy episode, right? Because I have dealt with this so many times now, including actually helping an attorney friend of mine who didn't practice criminal law through this incident. It is very sophisticated. It is happening more and more, and I just don't want any of y'all to have to deal with it.
So we've talked to several gun owners recently who've been fallen victim to this. Most of these folks not getting scammed. Clearly, it's affecting gun owners. And then anytime you say we got a warrant out for your arrest, that could implicate your ability to purchase guns. It's on our radar.
It is. So, I guess first off, this is where, because they get you with half-truths, right? And with some parts of this sound realistic. Can the government, and does the government, call you to let you know that a warrant is issued?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. So, yeah. You might hear people be like, well, they're never going to call you about it. But they might, actually.
They might.
So you get this phone call that says, hey, Richard Hayes.
Not in a thick Indian accent.
No. This is it's very sophisticated. Richard, my name is Deputy such and such. I'm with this county sheriff's office. I'm with this constable's office. I'm with the U.S. Marshal's office. I'm holding in my hands a warrant for your arrest.
Yeah.
You failed to show up for federal grand jury service.
That's not possible. I didn't receive that.
But you did, you see. We sent you a summons. You signed receipt and you swore to appear, and it is a federal offense not to appear. That's true, actually. It is a federal offense not to appear.
I don't remember signing that.
Okay, here's the thing. We actually have already compared your signature with something else you signed in the course of local governance, right? They'll pick something, and they match. So we know it was you. We know you signed. You failed to appear. There is a warrant for your arrest. Turn yourself in.
Let me Google this agency to see if this guy is who he says he is. Oh, their name shows up on the directory.
That's how clever this is.
Yeah.
They will actually pick the name of someone on the directory for the law enforcement agency.
Yeah, it's fairly sophisticated. And so a lot of that stuff you could see, there's a lot of outs for them not to focus on, I don't remember signing this. Well, we already compared your signature. They completely just changed the topic to something else. They have addresses. They maybe even have your date of birth, so they'll have a ton of your personal information. And that...
Oh yeah, home addresses, date of birth. We forget. This is not an ad for a VPN because they're not paying us for that today. But we forget how much of our personal data is just floating around out there. It's a ton. You can find a ton of information about people, and you have to work. And I say you specifically because I know you have, as have I, worked really, really, really hard to scrub that kind of information, right?
Oh, yeah.
But if you haven't been working hard, it's out there. So not hard for a scammer to figure it out, and they will. They're going to find somebody who is a decent, reliable citizen, who has cash reserves, who has something to lose, like my attorney friend.
Yeah, what happened with him?
So got a call. They said it was the sheriff's office. They had been delegated the authority by this federal agency to make the arrest, which that's also plausible.
Yeah, sometimes they'll have holds or detainers or all kinds of things.
Exactly. So I mean, I could absolutely, it is plausible, if not possible, that they would have the constables pick you up on a federal warrant.
Yep.
And then transfer you over. So, he is absolutely in a panic. It's the constable's office. The guy has actually provided a callback number to the constable's office, but also his cell phone number, which real police do that too,
Yes.
right? Here's the callback number into the agency. Here's my personal line.
And what happens if you call back, use that person's name? You're not going to get in touch with the officer.
No,
it's
you're
going to
gonna
go
get to
to
a voicemail.
Yeah, it's going to go to a voicemail. The guy's going to read his name off. You're never going to get a response. But if you call that cell phone, I mean, that's what I do. I call the cop's cell phone. They answer. We talk. Going through the phone tree, not great, but you see how this bolsters credibility.
Oh, yeah. So they've done so much to bolster credibility. I have this lawyer friend of mine. He's got my home address. He's got my name. He's got all of the, this personal information. And, I'm like, all right, buddy, well, did you, and this is early before, this is the first that I had heard of the scam. I said, well, did you sign? And he said, I don't know. I don't remember. Well, do better, first of all. But, here we are. I was like, well, I mean, it is an offense to no show. However,
Yeah, I was going to say, your spidey senses went off when he said, all right, I'm typing in the iTunes gift card numbers.
okay, well, that was at the very end.
Okay.
But initially, and, but still, I'm telling him, I'm like, look, just you call that person back, and this is someone with the benefit of a criminal defense attorney basically in their pocket. Give him my information, give him my name, give him my phone number, give him my office number, tell him I will negotiate your surrender. Well, he's saying that if I pay money, that the warrant will get canceled.
Okay, that's your first. Yeah, I take that back. That is the first major red flag.
That is the first major red flag. This is, if you watch nothing else, if you take nothing away from this video except this, the government will never accept money not to arrest you.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
Yes. If that were a thing, there'd be no need for lawyers. You just
Sure.
use your lawyer money and pay the government to cancel your warrant.
Sure.
Not a thing. There are very limited circumstances where a warrant can be withdrawn, and PayPaling money to someone who says that they're a sheriff,
Yeah.
not one of those ways. So I would say do not fall victim there. But this was so sophisticated when I actually, attorney friend, totally panicking. Well, no, he says it's got to happen today. He says meet him outside the sheriff's office. Clever. Now I happen to know, because it's Harris County, Texas, that there are like sophisticated drug deals occurring steps from the sheriff's department
Yeah.
all day long. But most people wouldn't think that. They'd be like, oh, well, obviously a criminal doesn't want this transaction to happen right in front of the sheriff's office,
Right.
right? Bring
I don't know. Have
cash
you been to the Austin Police Department? Have you seen the crime that happens on the front door?
Oh, gosh, yes. No, it's horrifying.
Oh, God.
Austin is a third world country.
But yes, again, bolstering credibility. This is happening in the presence of law enforcement.
Absolutely. And so finally, actually, my attorney friend conferences me in with this constable or sheriff, I can't even recall now. And I was like, okay, well, if Mr. So-and-so is to be arrested, I am his attorney, communicate with me. I will talk to you about when and where he's going to surrender, and we'll get a bond set and we'll go from there. And that is when, so this is another red flag. Law enforcement shouldn't be hanging up on your attorney and
No.
calling you back and then demanding Apple gift cards,
Right.
iTunes cards, right? It's like, okay. At that point, it's a scam. But we are seeing all over the country unsuspecting people, and it's good people. It's gun owners. It's people who want to follow the law, stay out of trouble, who want to not be
You don't want to be a fugitive from justice.
bingo, because what does that do?
Well, I mean, it could act as an impediment to receive firearms or ammunition under federal law. But, because we have the Biden administration changing, what is going to fall under the purview of this fugitive from justice law, basically including, it used to have to be maybe felony from another state.
Well, and it had to be an intentional.
Yes, had to be an intentional
flight too.
Yeah,
the
you had
Trump
to-
administration really contracted it.
Yeah, it was like I am leaving Texas because I know I'm going to get prosecuted if I'm here. And they changed it out to basically any open warrant for any crime whatsoever. I mean, so they really expanded who was getting denied firearms purchases, and we still see that going on. But you can see if your gun rights are implicated, I mean, this puts you kind of on double alert.
Yeah, absolutely. But it is very sophisticated. It's widespread. So if you get a phone call, if someone is saying there's a warrant out for you, because law enforcement does do this sometimes, Richard, what is your advice for people to stay scam free?
Yes, this is the surefire way that you're not going to be falling victim to this. And the United States district courts all over the country sharing this guidance. If you look at your county offices, I bet even your local government, they have this same stuff up on their website. Call the court directly and ask, hey, am I being something for jury duty? I'm being threatened with arrest. I got all these different things going on. Is this legitimate? Don't take the phone number from the scammer and call that number. Look this stuff up yourself or go visit it in person and ask these people, and they'll tell you whether or not it's real.
Yes. And remember, law enforcement is never going to tell you that you can pay them money to stop something bad from happening. They are never going to tell you that there is a definite timeline on such a thing. You can always say, let me get your name and number and I'll get a lawyer involved. And if this is real, I'm sure the lawyer will negotiate my surrender. And then a lawyer can definitely tell you what's going on.
But we just wanted to share this PSA with you. Emily's had a bunch of these guys lately. I've only had maybe one.
I've had 5.
Oh
I've
my
had
gosh.
5 different people call me with this exact scam. I failed to show up for jury duty. They are telling me I'm going to be arrested. So if I have spoken to 5 people, and not just Texas, throughout the country, it's a problem.
Yeah, but we hope you enjoyed this discussion. If you did, consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and help us fight the anti-2A algorithm by sharing this video.
And please question and comment below. And if you have people in your life who are the Michael Scott supporting all the Nigerian princes, share this with them. It could be very important. My last guy I talked to lost almost $5,000 to this scam. So until next time, we're the arms attorneys.